What are the difference between outline, edge, shade? If you understand this difference and apply in drawing and shading, you can do shade more perfectly. To understand this difference, here I am drawing two cylinders. When you start sketching with a pencil, don't draw very dark. Always begin with lighter sketches. It's called ghost drawing. If the sketches is perfect, then dark it. This is the outline of the first cylinder. Here I finished the first cylinder. Next I am drawing the second cylinder with the same method, but I don't darken the outline because I feel it's perfect. If you sketch any object or shape, do fastly. Then automatically it will become more perfect than slowly and carefully sketching. Also keep at least 2 inch difference between the tip of the pencil and the holding fingers. Whenever you start shading any shape, first fix a light source in a proper angle. Then you can plan the shading more perfectly. I am fixing a light source on the right corner of the first cylinder. Also the same in second cylinder. You can see the first cylinder has more darker outline. If the light is coming from the right side of the cylinder, the left side of the cylinder is darker and gradually change to lighter tone to the right side. To show the difference between outline, edge and shade, I am just fastly shading it to show a simple example for it. This shading method is line shading. Different values of colors depend upon the light source. Next you need to add shadow of the cylinder, that is just opposite of the light source. Here I finished the first cylinder with a simple line shading. Next I am shading the second cylinder. The light is coming from the right top corner. So doing the shade like the first cylinder. But the difference in this shading is I am covering the outline also in the shading. That's why the left outline of the cylinder is disappearing. Naturally, that outline is not visible like in the first cylinder. Then I am adding shadow to the cylinder, that is just opposite of the light source like the first cylinder. Created the shadow. Now you can see the left outline of this cylinder is completely disappeared. But you can see the outline of the first cylinder. Next I need to remove the right outline by adding some shading to its background. Look it. By adding background to the cylinder, the outline of the cylinder is started to disappearing. Now look at the difference between two cylinders. The first cylinder has clean outline and shading. But the second cylinder had outline, but now the outline is disappeared after shading. Now there is only edge and shading. The second cylinder outline is completely disappeared after adding shade. But the first cylinder has a clear-cut outline after shading. Now see the difference between two cylinders. First cylinder has a flattened feeling, like a 2D picture, a two-dimensional look, because the cylinder has an outline. Generally a shape has an outline, so when you shade it to a shape to get a realistic illusion, automatically its outline will disappear. So the second cylinder has a 3D feeling or three-dimensional look. When we observe the objects in the nature, none of them has any outline. When the light hits on the object, we can see its edges. Outline in the object in nature is an illusion. So when we shade a shape, we should understand the difference between outline, edge and shape. It is very important. Here the second cylinder has an interesting feeling, but the first cylinder is like a 2D or a flattened image. If we don't remove the outline of any shape after shading, it has a cartoony feel. The point is, when we need a realistic look for an object, the outline of the object should be disappeared after shading. That is the difference between outline, edge, shading. When you start drawing, learn the difference between these. Look at this example. In this geometrical shapes, first two image has outline and shading. So it has a two-dimensional feeling, a flattened look. But see the bottom images, it don't have outline but edges and shades. So it's more interesting than the top images. This is an example for organical shape. Both are shaded. But look at the first one, which has a realistic look because its outline is removed by shading. But in second image, the outline is still existing, so it doesn't get an interesting view. So when we shade an organic or a geometrical shape, we should understand the difference between outline, edge and shade and apply properly to be more perfect in drawing. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget subscribe this channel and switch on the notification button. See you again with another video. Bye.